Ladies and gentlemen, what you now see before you on camera is the exclusive demo for UFC Undisputed 2010, or UFC 2010 Undisputed, however you want to call it. I obtained this exclusive demo by registering through the UFC Undisputed website. That's pretty much all you had to do. So I don't know if they're still letting new people sign up and to give codes away, but you can try it if you like. So this demo, we have 4 fighters to choose from. We have Sugar Rashad Evans, Quentin Rampage Jackson, Mauricio Shogun Rua, and Lyoto Machida. So this demo has 2 modes that we can play with. We have the exhibition, which is your standard, you know, one game and one match. Then we have the game mode, which offers, and the demo, which offers us the tournament mode. But let's go down and break this down just for a little bit. So, game modes this year that you're going to have, of course, these are blocked out to where we can't use them in the demo. You have a title mode, which would be pretty cool, where I guess it may be similar to tournament mode. Or you may start out with the title. I don't know how that's going to work out. They'll give us more details on that later. But there's a title mode to, I guess, obviously you'll fight to get the title. Then you have the title defense mode, where I guess then you're the champion and you start defending your title. In the demo, we do have access to the tournament mode, which is basically you can set up for any. I'll actually go into it for it and show you. You can go in and select any weight class, but keep in mind that a lot of these things are disabled because we're in the demo. But you can select any weight class, you can select any difficulty, and this year it looks like there's an extra difficulty. I did notice this in the last 2009 Undisputed, but you have beginner, experienced, and advanced, and that's all that I've seen in the last one. But then there's an expert here. If there was expert in the last one, I'd never seen it when I went through the difficulty settings. So, and then you have tournament size. So for the demo, since we only have 4 unique fighters, I guess by default, or maybe that's the lowest you can go, is 4 people. You can go 8 if you would like, but if you notice, the tournament style changes to arcade when I go to 8. And the reason why is because since there are only 4 fighters that I have to pick from, if I go to 8, that means I'm going to be duplicating fighters. So if I duplicate them, it's not going to be a real simulation tournament. It's going to be more of an arcade style, because I could have Rampage Jackson, in the tournament 4 or 5 times, if I wanted to. So that's the difference right there. If you want to if you choose arcade for your style, that means you can have the same fighter in the tournament more than once. I mean, I probably wouldn't do that, but I guess it works good if you have people that like to use the same person and they're fighting in the tournament. So this way, everybody gets to pick the character that they want. And then down here, CPU versus CPU type. In the tournament, if it's just you playing, or if you have a couple friends over, and everybody's not taking control of a fighter, so there may be a bracket where you'll have 2 CPU fighters matched up against each other, where you can choose to watch that match or just sim it. I actually like to watch it because, it just kind of adds more to the drama of advancing through the rounds and seeing what your opponent is doing and who you may end up facing. Alright, so those are all the options to the tournament mode. See, and then you have, if you hit the back button, you have like a little quick cheat sheet to show you what buttons do what. Alright, so let's go back to the game modes. Ultimate Fights mode. I'm assuming that either this is going to be like the best fights in UFC, recent UFC history or whatever, that they put these matchups together, or it could be something that's like from the Ultimate Fighter. I'm not really sure about that yet, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be like they're going to have, over the past year or so, some of the best fights in UFC that you have to kind of go back in and replicate or change the outcome. In 2009, they kind of had something in there like this, but it was kind of watered down to me, because you had to actually play the fight how it happened in real life. So it was stupid. It was like you could only you had to beat somebody all 3 rounds, but it had to be the way it happened in real life, and that, I didn't really care too much for that. I'd rather have the option to change the outcome or fight the way I want to fight and still win. Of course, career mode. This is going to be one of the biggest improvements this year, because career mode, they completely overhauled it. I mean, they overhauled it to the point to where you would think this would have been UFC Undisputed 2011. I mean, that's how much extra stuff they put in. They took out a lot of the stuff that really didn't make sense, and they refined it. So now you have, you know, when you go and train at different fight camps, it just doesn't give you like a set of moves. You can pick the particular move you want to learn from that fight camp. So you kind of can adjust your fighter the way you want. So if you want to take the submission skills of say if you're a heavyweight, if you want to take certain submission skills from Frank Mir, and then you want to take the brutal takedowns or boxing of, you know, Brock Lesnar. I mean, you can kind of, it's almost like a la carte type of thing. You can pick and choose moves that you want to take from different fight camp and train on those, so your fighter would be really unique, rather than giving like a template. And you know, if your fighter's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter, then you know the moves that you're going to have at your disposal, and there's no surprise. But in this mode, in career mode, you'll be able to do those things, pick and choose your moves, which will make it really interesting when you're fighting people online, because you really can't predict, you know, what moves they're going to try to pull off, because everybody's going to be training differently. And then the career mode is it's a whole lot deeper. They actually have their I think it's WEC, whatever, they're kind of like their minor league for the UFC people, to kind of train them up and groom them and develop them before they go up to the UFC. They have that in this mode, and you'll start out fighting there. So it's really, really in depth this year. I mean, you have a lot more sponsors to pick from. The email system, it means more this time around. It's not something that, you know, last year people realized that it didn't matter. It didn't really, you know, you really didn't have to use that for your career. It was just like kind of like a waste of time. Looking forward to playing career mode this year. And also, they did a good job of cleaning up the sluggish menus. My God, the menus in 2009 were so slow and delayed, and it was just irritating. Event mode, not sure what that is. I mean, I'm not sure what that is yet, so I'm not even going to speak on it. So let's go. Xbox Live, you have Xbox Live Exhibition, Xbox Live, what's that, Camp, and then you have your leaderboards and event card download. Oh, okay, so that's cool. They'll have a downloadable content, I guess, like maybe when they have like a certain pay-per-view, then, you know, after that pay-per-view, you know, maybe a few weeks afterwards, they'll release a downloadable content to where you can set up your own event, set up the event card just like that. I guess. I'm only speculating at this point. Nothing's been confirmed on that. But the Xbox Live Fight Camp is going to be cool, because it's almost like it will be your equivalent to first-person shooters, where you have clans, where you have a group of guys that form a team, and they practice together and they compete together. Well, that's kind of how the live camp is going to be. All of your wins and losses are going to accumulate. Then I guess you're going to obtain points to see who's the best camp out there. Your camp, you train together to help each other get better. So it's going to be really unique to see how that pans out. Creative Fighter, the Creative Fighter this year has been is going to be more robust, better create options. Some of the Creative Fighter templates last year, they just look real comical. I mean, big old heads, and I mean, it just didn't look right. Well, they've overhauled that. The bodies look better proportioned, more customizable options. Again, a la carte moves. You can pick and choose what moves you want from each discipline to make your Creative Fighter really unique. They have more hair models, hair templates, so you can like Clay Guido, who couldn't be put in the game last year because of his long hair, and they didn't have I guess the technology to do that with their engine. But now they got Clay Guido in the game, so in return they also have that hair template in the fighter mode, in Creative Fighter mode. So that's going to be cool. I wish they had enabled the tutorial for the demo, so that at least we'll know how to pull off these new moves. I'm sure that many people will figure them out on their own, but you know, it'd be nice for them to have that available for the demo. And then of course game progress. I guess that's showing how much you've done in the game, your progression for completion. And then options, whatever that's going to be in the options, you know, sound, screen brightness possibly, you know, controller settings and all that good stuff. So that's pretty much a run through of the menu system setup for UFC 2010 Undisputed. And with my next video, I'll go into exhibition mode and do a match, and we'll see how it works. Thanks for watching, guys. I know there was a lot of information I threw at you, but I was trying to get as much as I could in under 10 minutes, but it went a little bit over, but oh well, who cares. Peace.